Number 10. Power dynamics. Workplace romances are never a good idea. Not only does it have the potential to get awkward if you break up, but you might have to take into account a power dynamic as well. Ned was the executive producer of the Try Guys. The 35-year-old comedian and author founded the group in 2014 while working for BuzzFeed, which turned out to be YouTube gold, and they now have almost 8 million followers on their channel. Alex Herring, on the other hand, worked under Ned as the associate producer. And over the years, she has been featured in many of their YouTube videos, probably because their workplace is so small. So naturally, the employees would become relatively close with each other over time. That doesn't change the fact that Ned was still Alex's boss, and even if the two of them weren't cheating on their respective partners, their relationship would still be unethical because of their positions in the company. If you're loving this video so far, please hit that like button, it would really help us out. Number 9. Flaunting his affair. Although Ned and Alex did a fair amount of sneaking around, and who knows how long for, they didn't really try to hide the fact that they were seeing each other when they went into a club in New York. It was a Reddit user who goes by the name of Hamilton390 who claimed that they saw the two of them kissing on the dance floor. They wrote, "So basically I went out to a Niagara club last night and saw her making out with Ned from the Try Guys. I have videos if needed. She was wearing a red dress, I don't know if that helps." The user also claimed that they talked to Ariel for an hour about the situation. Fans also saw that many of the Try Guys' employees, including Keith, Zach, and Eugene, unfollowed Alex and Ned on social media. Fellow Food Baby and Try Guys senior editor YB Chang also unfollowed them. Alex's fiancée Will unfollowed her and removed all pictures of them together on his Instagram and made his account private. So pretty soon the picture became crystal clear. Number 8. Female audience. If you've watched any of the Try Guys' videos, references to Ned's wife abounded from the beginning. In fact, just the way he says "my wife" has earned a catchphrase status and inspired countless compilation videos and even official Try Guys merchandise, including a figurine with a plastic Ned that repeats the phrase "my wife" at the press of a button. People feel that they demonstrate examples of good, non-toxic masculinity, and the connection that the audience feels to these men is very real. In fact, of the more than 8 million subscribers to the Try Guys YouTube channel, the vast majority of the audience is women, nearly 80%. The age demographic is young, particularly women in their late teens and early 20s. Having a large female audience is not a red flag in and of itself, but it goes to show you that there was always a performative aspect to Ned's feminism, and that was the whole reason why he had a fan base at all. So by betraying their image of him, he literally has nothing left.
Number 7. The shocking age that Leo met his most recent ex-girlfriend. Camila and Leo are no more, and I don't think that it's a coincidence that she just so happened to turn 25 earlier this summer. The pair were originally introduced to each other through another Hollywood A-lister, Al Pacino. Here's where it gets sketchy though. Leo met her when she was 10 years old and he was in his early 30s. Gross. Camila's Al Pacino's stepdaughter. While we don't know how well they knew each other at the time, hopefully it was just a meeting in passing, but it's shocking to think about. In July 2019, Camila posted photos of Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall, another Hollywood couple with a very distinct age gap, and captioned it, "A love like this." By drawing comparisons to her 23-year age gap relationship and Humphrey and Lauren's 25-year age gap, it's clear to see that she didn't think anything was wrong with the relationship. Although she may have forgotten to factor in Leo's expiry date in her plans for a long-lasting romance.
Number 6. Try Guys' reaction. Keith, Zach, and Eugene had to act quickly when Ned's character as a devoted husband and father fell apart and breached an essential contract with the audience. Despite the fact that they've known each other for years and built a successful brand together, the rest of the Try Guys literally wasted no time in cutting ties with their friend, and released a statement just 2 days after the news broke out. On their official Instagram page, they stated that Ned had been fired. Quote, "Ned Fulmer is no longer working for the Try Guys. As a result of an internal review, we do not see a path forward together. We thank you for your support as we navigate through this change." The action was so swift that it surprised a lot of people, but judging by how quick it was, it seems likely that they all knew what was going on, given that it was such a small workplace. But it remains to be seen how the scandal will affect their primary channel, and the other people tangled up in the mess of it all.
At number 5, we have Tom Cruise reportedly leaving his daughter, Suri Cruise, behind. Tom wants absolutely no one to think he just left his youngest daughter hanging to dry. However, this is exactly what several stories are claiming over the past couple of years. In 2012, Tom filed his lawsuit against Bauer Media for their articles, which appeared in Life and Style and In Touch, with claims that he turned his back on his daughter. However, he was later forced to admit in his deposition the following year that he hadn't seen Suri for an extended period of time because of his work. In 2012, it was marked at 100 days since he last saw her, and by 2016, In Touch had reports detailing over 1,000 days. A source informed the magazine that Tom, quote, uses his film commitments as an excuse, but the truth is that doesn't hold much weight with Suri anymore. The source added Tom's connection to Scientology with this, and their disconnection policy as well. Quote, he's disconnected from Suri because of her connection to Katie. He hasn't seen her since she was 7.
Number 4. Sneaking around. So when did people start to suspect that Ned was cheating? The internet conjured up some theories as to why the content creator was not involved in some of their videos for the last couple of weeks. In late September, the tweet that prefaced the drama wrote, fans began noticing that Ned was not present in some of the recent Try Guys' projects. Ned does not appear in the past 3 videos or intros. He also was not in the past 3 podcast episodes. As a main producer and one of the faces of the company, fans found this extremely worrying, so they started to become more vigilant of his appearances in the Try Guys videos. It was also very suspicious that Ned and Alex were seen in an Instagram photo promoting Keith's new Eat the Menu series, but they were not seen in the final cut of the video. So Ned had essentially been absent quite a bit in the last couple of weeks, but he obviously didn't think anyone would pick up on it.
Number 3. Leonardo DiCaprio's environmentalism stops as soon as it's time to travel. Leo's holidays are always lavish. He owns an island off of the coast of Belize, and his vacations are frequently to new destinations. But I have to say, partying on a 350-foot mega yacht in St. Barnes that burns an estimated 300 gallons of diesel an hour likely does more damage to the environment than you or I will ever in our entire lifetime. In the same breath, Leo constantly calls out attention to the dangers of climate change and urges people at home to take it seriously. Clearly, he doesn't think it's serious enough for him to adjust his lifestyle.
Number 2. Ned's wife. Ned's wife, Ariel Fulmer, recently released a statement addressing the scandal. She said, thanks to everyone who has reached out to me, it means a lot. Nothing is more important to me and Ned than our family. And all we request right now is that you respect our privacy for the sake of our kids. Cheating on anyone is bad, but there's a reason that fans felt especially betrayed when it came out that Ariel Fulmer was the one being wronged. She won over audiences everywhere despite only appearing briefly in a few of the Try Guys' videos. Although she's married to a well-known YouTuber, Ariel prefers to keep her personal life private and is generally the more reserved one in the relationship. She's an interior designer, stylist, author, and host of the podcast You Can Sit With Us. Although Ariel has said that she doesn't want herself or her children to be on the internet as much, Ned has regularly posted pictures of their young sons online and regularly shared updates about their family life. So if anything, this scandal has just pushed her even more into the public eye. And coming in at number 1, BuzzFeed reaction. They say that no one knows you better than your co-workers, and in Ned's case, that might be true as well. Former BuzzFeed alum Devin Lytle tweeted, 2022, the year we realized that wife guys are still guys. Jasmine Robbins posted a cryptic meme with Kermit the Frog and wrote, y'all shocked? So she made it seem like the affair between Ned and Alex was something of an open secret back when they both worked at BuzzFeed. One Twitter user responded by saying, makes me feel like Ned had wandering eyes for a long time. Maybe that's why he made I love my wife his thing, to overcompensate. Couples who always flaunt how happy they are and in love they are usually have something to prove. It was right in front of us the whole time, I guess. So it's entirely possible that Ned's on-camera nice guy persona was exactly that, just a persona, and that behind the scenes he had no issues cheating on Ariel, as long as he never got caught.
At number 10, we have Tom's accusations of forcing Scientologists to do grueling labor work for him. Over the past decade, numerous ex-members belonging to the Church of Scientology have stepped forward to point blame at the church for gross misconduct alongside several other allegations, and it seems Tom centers around the negativity. Former Inspector General Mark Rathburn once told R Online in 2011 that he obtained secret emails which proved that Scientologists were laborly forced to build a luxury bus to gift to Tom. In 2013, 15 ex-Scientologists also claimed Tom took reoccurring advantage of members while only paying them $1 per hour to complete endless jobs. Reports of their leader ordering them included completing the renovation of his home in Beverly Hills in 2004, overseeing the construction of a large custom motorhome for crews over over a 5-month period and assisting in the customization and construction of a special limousine for Tom Cruise. Former COS high ranker Amy Scooby once described having to locate Scientologists for Tom Cruise's household to cover the positions of nanny, cook, and maid. Reported documents allege that anyone who did not meet the requirements of their orders faced inhumane punishments. What are your thoughts on Tom Cruise's 10th red flag? Tell us in the comments below. At number 9, we have his apparent comparison of acting to fighting in Afghanistan. According to the reported deposition from 2013, during his $50 million lawsuit against Bauer Media, the actor supposedly informed the court that on-location filming was just as taxing as serving a tour of duty. The lawyer of the opposite legal team had brought up his absence from Surrey, which publicly equated it for these extended periods of time as being analogous to someone fighting in Afghanistan. Are you aware of that? Tom reportedly responded with, "Didn't hear the Afghanistan, but that's what it feels like, and certainly on this last movie, it was brutal." The press was instant on this headliner, and Tom's lawyer Burt Fields attempted to set the record straight by claiming Tom's remarks were taken entirely out of context. Burt further slammed the assertions that Tom Cruise likened making a movie to being at war in Afghanistan is a gross distortion of the record. What Tom said laughingly was that sometimes that's what it feels like. At number 8, we have Tom's divorce strategy. Tom has gone through 3 marriages so far, all ending in messy headlines and he said she said. However, it's been reported that there is much more in common with his foreign marriages than the fact that they just ended. Apparently there's a pattern shadowing the actor in every one of his splits with his ex-wives, Mimi Rogers, Nicole Kidman, and Katie Holmes. According to reports, all 3 ladies were the exact same age when they filed for divorce, as well as each of them is 11 years younger than the last. Many have chalked this scenario up as a coincidence that he ended his marriage with them at the specific age of 33. However, others have noted that 33 is indeed a significant number for Tom's Church of Scientology. NY Daily News once reported, quote, "The original membership organization for the controversial religious group, the Hubbard Association of Scientologists, was founded in Phoenix, Arizona, which lies on the 33rd parallel." Outside of this theory though, there have been other simpler suggestions for this pattern, which is that Tom just has a preference for dating women under 33 and sticks to that no matter what. Regardless, it could be anything really.
Number 7, his apology. Just 2 days after the news broke out, the Try Guys announced on Instagram that Ned had been fired. The official statement said, "Ned Fulmer is no longer working for the Try Guys. As a result of an internal review, we do not see a path forward together. We thank you for your support as we navigate through this change." After the post, Ned took to his own Instagram, confirming that he had cheated on his wife. He said, "Family should have always been my priority, but I lost focus and had a consensual workplace relationship. I'm sorry for any pain that my actions may have caused to the guys and the fans, but most of all to Ariel. The only thing that matters right now is my marriage and my children. And that's where I'm going to focus my attention." The way his so-called apology was worded is extremely telling, because he was clearly just trying to make it sound better than it actually was. I'm sure Ariel did not consent to their relationship, so there was no point putting that last part in there.
At number 6, we have Tom's toxic Mission Impossible 7 rant. His viral spiel during unprecedented times for the film industry reportedly resulted in a handful of crew members quitting. While the question of when filming for this movie will finally end has been up in the air for movie enjoyers since production halted during the prime time of the worldwide health policies, apparently Tom cost the team a lot more than monetary value can replace. While resuming shooting for the high-budget project, Tom famously scolded 2 crew members who allegedly failed to stick to official guidelines. Following this, reports detailed that 5 team members stepped down. The Sun described the December 14th occurrence, which faced obvious backlash. A source dished to the publication, "The first outburst was big, but things haven't calmed since. Tension has been building for months, and this was the final straw. There's been more anger and several staff have walked, but Tom just can't take anymore after all the lengths they've gone through just to keep filming. He's upset others aren't taking it as seriously as him. In the end, he's the one who carries the can."
Number 5. Leo reportedly pays big money for the best PR firm available. Sunshine Sachs is one of the most exclusive PR agencies available, so much so that they frequently turn down A-list clients and they don't even have a website. You have to have the right connections to get in with them, and they offer some of the best services the industry has to offer. Considering all of his interesting dating habits, it's no wonder Leo's been with the company for years. Ken Sunshine, the CEO of Sunshine Sachs, has mentioned Leo by name in interviews and articles, proving his close ties with the company. Reportedly, Leo doesn't interact with anyone who hasn't signed an NDA. Maybe this is just an an attempt to keep some of his limited privacy, being one of the most recognizable faces on Earth, but this move raises a red flag.
At number 4, we have Tom punishing Scientologists. According to rumors stemming from former devoted member Leah Remini, who dished it all in her 2013 published piece, Troublemakers Surviving Hollywood and Scientology, there are a number of horror stories about their most famous member during Leah's time there. In November 2018, Leah described to the Daily Beast that Scientologists are told that Tom Cruise is saving the world single-handedly, so he is considered a deity within Scientology. Leah further alleged that Tom is scarily aware of what takes place in Scientology, as he has reportedly been a part of it all. Leah added that she's previously been told by a senior executive of Scientology who was there that David constantly threatened their staff with bringing Tom Cruise to Gold Base. Aside from this, Leah also described to the outlet that there was a time when Tom personally punished a high-ranking member under David's orders. Of course, the COS rapidly shut down these allegations, telling ET Canada the interview is a PR stunt to promote her fake reality TV show. Remini has gone out of her way to manufacture hate and instigate harm toward innocent people.
Number 3. Alex Herring. If Ned cheating on Ariel was not bad enough, it turns out that Alex Herring, the woman he was seeing, was also engaged to her fiance Will Thayer at the time. The couple have been together for more than a decade. So this story is full of betrayal no matter which way you look at it. According to her Instagram, AA Herring, Alex has been dating Will since 2011, when she posted a photo of them with face masks on with the caption, "Cleansing our pores." They met at university and celebrated their 5-year anniversary at Disneyland in June of 2016. At the time of Alex and Ned's cheating scandal, Alex and Will were engaged and together for 11 years. As of today, he has now unfollowed Alex on Instagram, as well as removed all their photos together and made his account private. He's obviously heartbroken, so the worst part is that the affair has ruined 2 relationships, not just one.
At number 2, we have Tom's alleged ties to the COS auditioning wives for him. In between Nicole and Katie, apparently, the Church of Scientology attempted to scope out the ideal wife for the actor. At least that is according to a mind-boggling Vanity Fair report in 2012. The VF article suspected that Shelley, wife of leader David, was hand-selecting the perfect girlfriend for their star member. During 2004, there was a rumored audition that took place with actresses who were also a part of the COS, who were called into what they originally assumed was a training film audition. However, according to reports, the actors were supposedly asked questions about Tom, and then in October 2004, Homeland actress Nazini Bonayati was apparently chosen as the frontrunner. In line with the magazine, Nazini partook in daily audits over the course of a month and was forced to disclose every single detail about herself with nothing off limits. In November of that year, Nazini was eventually selected to go on a date with Tom, but she was reportedly told to break up with her boyfriend, remove her braces, and darken her hair first. According to sources, the actress also signed numerous confidentiality agreements, but the romance derailed in January 2005. Insiders claim Tom would report his live-in girlfriend to the staff of COS if he wasn't pleased with her actions. Resultantly, Tom apparently got someone to break up with her, with the explanation that the actor wanted someone with her own power, like Nicole. At number 1, we have Tom being the reason why his former divorces ended. Is Scientology to blame for the split from his ex-wives? A number of ex-Scientologists seem to think so. Previous high-ranking Scientologist Marty Rathburn alleged that his job was to facilitate the breakup with Nicole Kidman because she was a non-believer. In the 2015 documentary Going Clear: Scientology and the Prison to Believe. To corroborate these claims, Leah informed US Weekly that the Celebrity Center's senior vice president, quote, used confidential Scientology counseling sessions to bring a wedge between Tom and his wife Nicole because Nicole didn't want to do Scientology anymore, adding that through Marty Rathburn, he and David were able to get rid of Nicole to get Tom closer to Scientology. Tom and Nicole split back in 2001, and Nicole went viral during the finalization process when she exited her lawyer's office in unfiltered bliss. As for Katie, if we time jump to 2006, their marriage was officiated with David as Tom's best man. But in 2012, Tom made claims of being blindsided by Katie's decision to divorce and gain full custody of their daughter Suri. While the COS wasn't directly meddling at the time, it seems the practice was the official fallout between the former couple.
He hasn't dated any woman over the age of 25. Seriously. Even in his longer lasting relationships, as soon as his girlfriends reach his idea of an expiry date, they get the boot. While he has been linked to Naomi Campbell and Rihanna, who were older than the age limit at the time, they never officially dated. The women part of the ex-girlfriend club are not just your everyday beauties. All of Leo's ex-girlfriends are supermodel gorgeous. The ranks include Bar Raffaelli, Blake Lively, Kelly Rohrbach, Nina Agdal, and more recently, Camilla Moroni. At the tender age of 20 years old, Camilla began dating Leo, who was 43 years old. If you're keeping count with me, that's a whopping 23-year age difference. I'm sure a lot of people would find dating someone who could be your daughter kind of gross. All signs point to immaturity, which is an immediate red flag. Number 9. All of Leo's ex-girlfriends look the same. Young blonde beauties are clearly Leo's type, but when you put all the photos together, you can barely tell them apart. His most recent ex, Camila, probably looks the least like the prototype as a brunette, but when Leo first set his sights on her, she was, you guessed it, blonde. As the all-knowing minds of the internet suspect that the standard was set by Giselle, who he dated until she was the ripe old age of 23 years old. If you dig a little deeper into his dating history, it's clear that he was always into the blondes, even in the early 90s, but dating the same type of women and replacing them as soon as they reach an age limit seems really sketchy. Number 8. He takes all of these girlfriends to the same island for vacations. The evidence that Leo is a creature of habit in his relationships is overwhelming on this one. It might even be considered an orange flag if it was anyone else, but considering the strict dating standards he sets on his partners, why wouldn't he take them all to the exact same island for getaways? This island is incredibly private and Leo clearly loves it there. So much so he's actually recommended it to President Obama. The former president supposedly said, if Leo recommends a place, I listen. And if Leo has been able to come here on several different occasions with different girls and not a single photo has come out, that's where I need to go.
At number 7, we have Tom being accused of brainwashing his eldest younglings. While Nicole and Tom were still together, they adopted 2 kids named Isabella and Connor. However, once they split, it was stated that Tom did his very best to convince them that they needed to cut their mom out of their lives. This shocking allegation came from former Scientologist Sam Domingo in 2019 when Sam told R Online Tom made the decision to disconnect from Nicole and have his children disconnect. Sam claimed Isabella and Connor were forced into Scientology school and the removal of their mother. Furthermore, Sam went on to add that they were brainwashed by growing up without choices and that they are most notably being used as leverage for the church, and it's not right. Since this, Connor has reportedly been formulated into becoming the quote perfect Scientologist and remains under constant supervision as per the church-owned hotel surveillance. Isabella, on the other hand, starred in a promotional video for the church's London branch, which encouraged members to intern as auditors, where Isabella described how she felt the training was incredible and thanked her dad for everything.
Number 6. Less than 2 weeks after breaking up with Camila, he was spotted with another woman. Leo was spotted at New York Fashion Week getting cozy with Gigi Hadid after breaking up with Camila, his girlfriend of the last 4 years. Clearly doesn't take him very long to recover from a breakup. Leo's back on the prowl with his sights set on the newest blonde for the lineup. Based on the factors we've seen so far, Gigi fits the bill. Blonde, supermodel certified gorgeous. However, there are a few things that may throw a wrench in his rebound plans. Nobody freak out. Gigi is 27. If Leo can get past that age qualifier, there's also the matter of the child she shares with her ex, Zayn Malik. Now, if I were Gigi, I would take all of these red flags at face value and head for the hills, unless she really wants to go to that private island.
Number 5. Wife guy facade. If anyone is wondering why Ned's infidelity is particularly egregious news, even the most casual fans of the Try Guys know that Ned Fulmer, who is one of the show's 4 stars, is an official wife guy. It's literally his whole brand. In almost every video, he would gush over his wife and play the part of an adoring husband so well that he was able to monetize it. The man even co-authored a cookbook with his wife titled The Date Night Cookbook. Ned and Ariel have 2 children together and both host a parenting podcast called Baby Steps. So from the outside, it really seems like they have it all. For Gen Z, the media circus surrounding the scandal is something akin to the cheating claims against John Mulaney, who allegedly cheated on his ex-wife and impregnated Olivia Munn almost immediately after exiting rehab in 2021. Prior to their respective cheating controversies, both guys were decently liked men who branded themselves as uber-devoted husbands, and that's what makes this story so much worse.
Number 4. Leo's self-titled foundation. The Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation, or the LDF, is so attached to Leo's personal brand that it doesn't even have its own website. The LDF seems to be directed towards creating a better world for all of its inhabitants by targeting conservation of species, oceans, wildlands, and tackling climate change. All of this seems great, but in 2016, the foundation was target of a complaint from the US Department of Justice. It seems one of the donations made to the LDF directly linked to one of the largest embezzlement cases the planet has ever seen, $3 billion large. And if that's not enough to set off alarm bells, then there's the matter of the foundation being classified as a donor-advised fund, meaning that it doesn't have to file public disclosures of its revenue, expenditures, or disbursements. So we have no idea if any of the money they receive goes to any of the causes that the LDF claims to support. Their charitable galas are held in Saint-Tropez. They're reported to be filled with all kinds of debauchery at the low price of just under $12,000 a ticket.
At number 3, we have Tom criticizing Brooke Shields' fight with postpartum depression. Back in 2005, Brooke showcased her mental health struggles through her Down Came the Rain, My Journey Through Postpartum Depression memoir. Her Get Real tell-all follows the arrival of her daughter Rowan back in 2003. Brooke was uber honest about her use of therapy and antidepressants to cope, and this seemed to press Tom greatly. At the time, the actor spoke with Access Hollywood about how he felt Brooke's positive spin on her use of antidepressants was irresponsible. He further went on to say, "When someone says medication has helped them, it is to cope. It didn't cure anything. There is no science. There's nothing that can cure them whatsoever. I care about Brooke because I think she's an incredibly talented woman, but look where her career has gone." However, Brooke was not here for any of that and slammed Tom back in a New York Times op-ed, writing, "Comments like those made by Tom Cruise are a disservice to mothers everywhere. If any good can come from Mr. Cruise's ridiculous rant, let's hope that it gives much needed attention to a serious disease." Brooke later also told People, "Tom should stick to saving the world from aliens and let women who are experiencing postpartum depression decide what treatment options are best for them."
Number 2. Leo's close friends with a sketchy past. Leo's closest pals have been friends with him for almost 30 years. The likes of Tobey Maguire, Lucas Haas, and Kevin Connolly have all been spotted with him consistently. The gang of guys gained a moniker too salacious to be repeated here for being a randy group of guys only after one thing. They would go out on the town in search of women and a good time, not caring if anyone else was in the way. Beyond party boys in their natural habitat, there's a laundry list of illegal poker rings, lawsuits, and bad behavior attached to this group. All red flags here. And our number 1 red flag, Leo's been rubbing shoulders with political figures. Over the years, Leo's been invited to thousands of events and meetings with prominent figures. The ones that stick out the most as the most red flag behavior are his cozying up to political leaders and religious figures alike. Has been spotted visiting Pope Francis, and concerningly, he's met one-on-one with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Leo has stated that all of these visits were related to his foundation and on climate change, but his tactics of getting close to major world leaders to get his way are unsettling at best.